Anti-gay laws in Africa have been in the headlines a lot lately. Until very recently, Kenya had a bill before Parliament proposing foreigners caught committing homosexual acts be stoned to death, while Kenyans would get a life sentence.
Homosexuals should be put to death.
Uganda also passed a law calling for life imprisonment before a court stepped in and annulled it last month. And in 2011, Ugandan activist David Kato was beaten and murdered after a newspaper published his name and showed a photo identifying him as gay and calling for his execution.
The point is what they do in our country.
The crackdowns and prejudice are increasing, but so is resistance. Advocates for gay rights in Africa are daring to speak out.
We're proud of the film, and we want people to see it.
These filmmakers, Jim Chuchu, Joki Ngumi, and George Gashara, are members of a Nairobi-based arts collective. They base the film's Stories of Our Lives on their interviews with dozens of LGBT people about what it's like to be gay in Africa. The three filmmakers have now stepped forward, risking not only themselves, but their friends and family back home. I sat down with them as they were making the big decision to reveal their involvement with this film. You guys have put your names out there. You're now officially, publicly gay activists in Africa.
Wow.
How does it feel?
I don't think we woke up in the morning and said, hey, let's be gay activists. I think the whole time while we were shooting this movie, we'd ask ourselves, are we sure this is a good idea? And so the answer was, let's figure that out.
Once it's done.
I'd like you to find the value of X from what we have on our
I got you something, really.
We collected all these stories from people, well, like Joki and Sunny and other people within the family. Traveled across the country to collect stories and hang out with queer people and be in their space and with their families.
Na unafanya nini nyumbani?
Nipe tu sasa.
Tena? For how long?
Wiki tu mbili tu.
Wiki tu mbili. Halafu narudi. Unajua nini kinatendeka kwa wasichana kama wewe?
So, how big a decision was it to put your names on the film?
It was a
very emotional decision.
It was a tough decision. Because there's so many things to balance when making such a decision. It goes beyond yourself, it goes to the people you work with and your families and their families.
Did you tell your families?
Initially when the film was scheduled to play as an anonymous film, we didn't have to do that, and then after weeks and weeks of talking to people, we then decided to change, and then it became imperative to let our families know that there's this thing that's coming.
This film in particular has a kind of earthquake quality. So I did have to say something about it.
How'd that go?
We're still figuring it out.
George?
Well, it's interesting because when I was young, my mom found me with someone that I liked in the room, and we were making out, and it was a big deal. But she chose to think about it as a phase, something I was going through that would one day come to an end, and then I'd be proper and give her grandchildren and wedding and stuff like that. And I wished that she didn't die, that I had to tell her, like the rest of my friends came out to their parents. So Yeah.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's not just telling your family in your country, it's against the law. Are you, like, what happens now? How risky is this for you?
We don't know. Like, and I think that's the thing that we're really worried about, that we don't really know
Like
what's
we
going
can't
to happen.
map it.
So what we've been doing is preparing for, preparing for
not so good outcomes.
And hoping that we won't have to use the things we prepared
to use.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean?
Well, we had to insure everything just in case.
All our property, insure all this, get everyone on insurance,
health insurance, and
get a lawyer, get a safe house.
Yeah. Stuff.
Why? What could happen?
We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know. We just need to be, just in case.
Where are you from? You got an interesting accent.
Kenya. I'm from Kenya.
Oh, wow. From Africa?
Kenya. Africa is the continent.
Can I kiss you?
The stories are remarkable about love and fear and shame and pride. It's kind of...
And life.
Yeah.
And hopes and aspirations. And we hope that by validating the stories that we got by coming to the front, is respecting those people.
And respecting our actors who, went above and beyond to give us what we needed to make those stories. And they were scared.
Yeah,
and then their faces are on those movies in a very irreversible way. That even us as crew.
Like our faces aren't all over this film.
No.
So
not in the same way.
Everyone's scared.
Yes.
Well, actually, when we screened for the actors, they were just like, get it seen, And we were like, are you guys serious?
Because they might never get another job because they're the queer person.
Naweza kukisi. Sahau tu. Mjinga.
Sikubambika na historia yako ya kisi. Unajua tu poa kabisa venye mimi na feel kuhusu historia.
I've read comments from your country, other African countries, about how to be gay or queer is repugnant and un-African.
Yeah.
Where does that come from?
That answer is difficult because it comes from many places. It comes from our history, it comes from politics and power
and religion,
and how useful these issues are as a distracting thing. So you can do all your crazy politics and business on the side and distract everyone and say they are the enemy.
And they are the problem. If we get rid of them, then everything is going to kind of become better.
And then there's always
so kill gay people and you win
American,
an election.
Right, that is very righteous.
The evangelical movement?
Yeah. And they jet into the country and have big crusades. And they work with politicians and religious leaders. And because the issue is sort of like the most political issue in America, then it becomes a very big issue in countries that have conversations with the different parts of America.
The anti-gay movement laws seem to be gaining force across Africa, but the activism, people like you, that seems to be growing as well. Is it? I mean, are you getting anywhere?
There's always sometimes it goes really backward, and then sometimes it moves.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you can do this in Uganda.
No. Or Sudan or
to get
Somalia.
To the place where you have a finished film that has gay characters. I don't think you can get there.
Is this movie against the law?
Well,
yes.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. The point blank answer is
yes.
Like
we'd never have got the licenses to shoot this film.
You just did it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what does that mean now?
Yeah.
That's the question.
Yeah.
That's
So
the
I
question.
think our fears are not just about the individual things that could happen to us, but also as an institution. What does it mean that we've made this film and kind of jumped all the hoops and kind of premiered it here, and then we come back home having shown it to the world, and yeah.
Nini?
Wakwapi mama Zoili?
Ni nani? Mnataka?
Ndio hawa. Wako wapi?
Mnadhani mimi ni demu?
Ndio hawa.
Wendeni.
So it's going to be pretty moving watching your own movie.
Yeah, I think it's with all this politics and all this craziness, sometimes it's easy to forget that yeah, we made a film and it's here in Toronto, and it's like a big deal for us as a family and as filmmakers. Yeah.
You guys are like a family. Oh, you're really tight.
Yeah, we are.
Well, thanks so much for telling me your stories and for the film, and best of luck on your return.
Thank you.
Best of luck.
It was fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.